This story comes to us from San Antonio, Texas. It seems there were two high school students who performed a skit, that is a little play, in which one of them was an assassin and the other was Donald Trump, who was shot to death. That was performed in a high school, and as you may imagine, there was quite a stink. Fortunately, there was quite a stink that was made about it. According to the headline in Gloucester Times, if I mispronounced that, my apologies. You may want to correct me in the comment section below. According to the headline, Donald Trump's mock assassination draws ire at Texas high school. So the story follows this line. The teacher was teaching Shakespeare, and as a teaching vehicle, she asked the children, these are teenagers, to devise skits that were based upon Shakespeare. So these guys say, okay, we can do that. And so they made up this skit in which one of them would assassinate Donald Trump. One was the assassin again, the other was Donald Trump. The story reads thusly. No, we're not going to read the whole thing, but just so you can get the gist of what's happening here, then we'll make some commentary on it. Two Texas students, did I say Texas? I meant Texas. Two Texas students and their teacher were reprimanded after the 10th graders performed a skit portraying the assassination of President-elect Donald Trump. One of the boys used a gunfire sound effect from a cell phone, while the other student, who was portraying Trump, fell to the ground, fell dead. I can empathize with this guy because when I was a kid, we used to play, cowboys and Indians, and we'd play Army in our neighborhood. And I was really good at dying. I mean, I could grab my heart, stagger around for like 5 minutes and fall over. I could fall off. I don't think I ever fell off a building, but I could, fall off boxes or whatever. I was probably the best dyer in the neighborhood. I don't think they do that anymore. I don't think it's politically correct to play cowboys and Indians. I don't know if they play Army or not. We'd run around the neighborhood and shoot each other. Oh, well, today they have computer games, so it's all simulated. So the boy fell to the ground, dead, pretending to be dead, pretending to be Trump. The skit was titled The Assassination of Donald Trump, and it was performed before the English class at John Marshall High School in San Antonio. The boy's teacher instructed her students to create and perform a skit following their studies of Shakespeare and asking them to submit the scripts for approval. However, the superintendent said the boys changed the skit after their original script had been submitted. The teacher had no idea what they were going to do. She thought they were going to follow their script, but they pulled a fast one. And the story says the teacher stopped the skit immediately. But, how long could this skit possibly be? The guy pulls out a cell phone, shoots Donald Trump. End of skit. The teacher jumps up and yells, "Stop it!" But it's too late. He's already dead. A school spokesman said that appropriate action had been taken against the three and that the teacher had apologized. However, there was a parent. Apparently, that's a joke. There was a parent of a student who watched the skit. He told the paper that he doesn't believe the teacher's apology was enough, saying it doesn't make the situation right. I don't know what else the teacher could do. I mean, she did not know they were going to do it, had no way to stop them. But once she saw what was going on, she abruptly stopped it, and then she apologized. So what else could she do? Maybe there's something going on that we're not being told in this news report, but seems to me, what else, what do you expect this, I guess it's a woman, what do you expect her to do? Honestly, this is a quote from the irate parent. Honestly, I have run out of words to describe how angry I am and how shocked I am that they are still in school today. Yeah, they probably should have been booted out for a couple days, reprimanded. But then again, if they're not white, you can't reprimand them because, you have to mete out punishments to non-white students at the same rate that you mete out punishment to white students. Well, if non-white students misbehave more often, then they get away with stuff. Last Tuesday, the former chief officer of cybersecurity at a San Diego, we actually did a video on this, San Diego firm, resigned after he went on Facebook and fantasized about shooting Donald Trump. Now, what's interesting is both of those were in Texas. Here's what comes to my mind is we have seen several of these. We saw that a guy in Ohio was actually arrested after he went on Twitter either election night, well, I think it was the day after the election, October 9th, and fantasized about shooting Donald Trump, and, they hauled the guy off to jail. I guess they're prosecuting him. The point of all that is we see all these death wishes and being made public on social media and in the news. I can't remember this happening in 2008 or 2012 when Barack Obama was elected president. Now, maybe it happened and the media just didn't report it, but I didn't see any of it. It seems like there is a tremendous amount of hate on the far left. Tremendous amount of hate that we don't see on the far right. I mean, did you see Trump supporters rioting at Hillary Clinton rallies? No, but we saw these far left-wing lunatics blocking traffic, actually closing down some Trump events. And all that hatred is on the left, but they have the audacity to accuse Trump supporters of being hateful, of being racist. It's bald-faced hypocrisy. Karl Marx, I mention this often, but Karl Marx instructed his followers to accuse your enemies of doing what you do. So Marx was effectively telling his followers, if you are hateful, then accuse your enemies being hateful. If you are a bigot, then accuse your enemies of being bigots. That's how these people, that's exactly what we see happening throughout this election cycle. So the thing we take away from the story is there is a tremendous amount of hypocrisy. Come to think of it, throughout my life, I'm 63 and a half years old. I've seen a large number of presidential elections. I can't remember any time when somebody fantasized about shooting somebody. Now, having said that, I can actually remember the day and time when John Kennedy was assassinated. And that, again, was in Texas. What is it with Texas? But, I was 9, 10 years old. I was a newsboy. And what I remember about the assassination of John Kennedy was I had to stand there for 2 or 3 hours while they actually had to reprint the newspapers because it was a late-breaking story. So I had to wait for them, and all the newsboys had to wait for them to literally reprint the newspapers. But finally they did. We got them out. And also I can remember the attempted assassination of George Wallace, first and only Democrat I ever voted for. I think it was 1972. I voted for George Wallace in the Democratic primary. But the point of all that is there is a tremendous amount of hate on the left, and there is a tremendous amount of hypocrisy as they, the bad guys, accuse us, the good guys, of doing what they are doing. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. I'm trying not to sneeze. Don't forget to share the video on social media. There's a button underneath the video that says share. That's why it says share, so you can click on it and share it on Facebook, Twitter, so forth. Also, don't forget to, did I mention give us a thumbs up? Also, don't forget, after you give us a thumbs up, to leave your comments in the comment section. We'd like to know what you think. Now, there is a red button in the lower right-hand corner of this video that says subscribe. If you have not yet joined the thousands of people who have already subscribed to this YouTube channel, then we invite you to do that right now. Be a part of what we're doing.
Click the red button to subscribe.